I will not refrain from speaking until it gets or sinks into the minds of the African youth, most especially the girls. It is not, it cannot, and will never be a prestige dating or marrying a white folk. Someone commented on the last post I did. I'll post the comment on the top of this video, that African boys are also lost after old ancestral white women, yet I'm not including it. You see, no African youth is excluded. Most of them do feed or eat from the leftovers, debris, and crumbs from the West. You know why I so much focus on the girls? It is because our women are our pride. We need to fight for them and protect them. What these whites do to our women, they can't do that to their own women. In fact, they worship their women. In like manner, African men need to cherish, honor, and respect the African woman as well. I know that once the African woman is healed, the African child is healed, the African man is healed, and definitely the African family is healed and restored. The enemy has destroyed the African man and destabilized the African family by attacking, intruding, infiltrating the African woman. There must be a rebirth of the African family through the African woman. That is why the scripture says, 1 Timothy chapter 14 verse 15, and Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived fell into transgression. Nevertheless, she will be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith, love, and holiness, with self-control. Let me be honest with you. I don't have respect for any black folk that is married to a white folk. You know why? Because I know what they are passing through, how you are being treated, and how they see and perceive you. It is either you are a sex slave to them, or boy boy, or girl girl. But most often you are a sex slave to them, and the day you can no longer perform in bed, they gon' kick your ass off. Like I said, Africans are being indoctrinated that they are the lesser or inferior humans and are being trained to eat from the leftovers from the Western table. This is sickening. They can never love you so dearly. Most of the Oyibo men that come after our black sisters are coins with both sides. They go both ways. A typical example, which I'm well convinced, is this sister's situation. The Oyibo man doesn't look straight. He doesn't seem straight. He definitely swings both ways. You will hardly find a responsible, a respectable, a respectful Oyibo person, woman or man, coming after a black brother or sister. It is either they have become ancestors already, or they are morally or spiritually insane or adventurous. My brothers, my sisters, stop lying to yourselves. There is no love there. You can't tell me otherwise. My African brothers and sisters, quit this lifestyle, or you do it in private, not in public, because it rather soils the image and the image of the African people. You as an African building a family with an Oyibo is of no use, because by nature most white folks don't have respect or regard for family. I mean regard or respect for children, parent, wife, and husband. That's why they have all the laws and surveillance cameras to sedate, condition, constrain, survey, and monitor them. All this women's right and child's right is for them, not for the Africans, indigenously Africans. The African is born with the family spirit in them. Remember the word of the Most High. I mean his laws and the law of nature are written in the heart of the black folks. It is the Western world that needs all of these laws. Check out their history of how they molested, assaulted, abused their women, and even their kids. Irate of pedophiles. Even during the era of that stigma is still in the genes of the people. I have come across underage white girls who told me they were being at a very tender age. Just yesterday, a white female friend of mine called me and said her 15-year-old daughter in Spain called her and complained that she was raped the day before by a 50-year-old Spanish man. The friend told me while weeping, I asked her to tell the daughter to go and report to the police. Do you know that even the authorities are aware but will sweep it under the rug for one reason? To give the impression to the world that such things don't happen with their own people or amongst their own people. But if it were a foreigner that committed the offense, it would be on BBC the same moment. The Western world protects their laws more than their own people. Rather, the life of their people be at stake than for the law or sovereignty of the nations, to be at stake. Getting married or having kids with these people, even the life of your kids, are also at stake. Do you know how many of our black sisters' kids these men have destroyed and molested at home? I know of a situation where until now the man was sentenced to life imprisonment because the life of the little girl was already destroyed. Yet the mother couldn't take any major actions. Sometimes the mother will be aware, but just because of selfish and material benefit, she will not act. Amongst them, they do practice. I have spoken personally with some of them that have been victimized. What makes the difference between humans and animals is the fear of the Most High. That's why a community that rejects the Most High, look at what becomes of the people. Romans chapter 1 verse 26 to 27 says, because of this, the Most High gave them over to shameful lust. Even their women exchange natural sexual relations for unnatural ones. That means the toys that women do buy for their own sexual satisfaction. In the same manner, or in the same way, the men also abandoned natural relations with women and were inflamed with lust for one another. Men committed shameful acts with other men and received in themselves the due penalty for their error. That is same-sex marriages. You all know what the scripture is talking about. You see that? They become worse than animals. Because in the animal kingdom, a male lion can never copulate or have intercourse with another male lion. It is against nature. Neither can a lion eat feces. It's the pigs that do that. You see that? Because man was given freedom, the ability to choose between good and wrong, that has destroyed man because man has overstepped his bounds. Read Exodus chapter 19 verse 12. It says, put limits for the people around the mountain and tell them, be careful that you do not approach the mountain or touch the foot of it. Whoever touches the mountain is to be put to death. Hear it? And Genesis chapter 2 verse 16 to 17 says, and the Most High commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For on the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. You see, when I came to Germany, I asked a friend of mine that, man, Europe is good, oh. They don't even have mad people on the street like we see, on daily basis in other worlds, in Africa and all the like. He replied to me and said, they do, even past Africa safe, but them keep them for different places. He said even their old people have particular homes that they are being kept. It was later, after some years, that I understood what this friend was talking about, when I must have mingled with the people and the system as well. You see, what makes the white folks seem like angels and the black folks seem like devils is that the white folks know how to cover up for their atrocities and errors, while the black man knows how to expose his own atrocities. You see, some will still be saying, after all of this, why am I still in Europe? Remember, Moses could better fight Pharaoh because he lived with Pharaoh and he mastered the system. So he was speaking from experience or out of experience. You see, Africans have been trained and brainwashed to fight against their own freedom fighters other than fighting against the enemies or the slave masters. Remember, ignorance is not an excuse. Forewarned is forearmed. Goodbye for now.